I think it was Black Angus after that.
Have you been to the Playboy Club, Scully?
No, I've never been to any of that stuff.
Well, the club was in New York, I think.
There's many of them.
There was one. The mansions in...
There was a Playboy Club in Fashion Valley. There was one in...
Mansions in Beverly Hills.
A lot of guys Urban Explorer, the old one. It's been torn down now. It was in Chattanooga.
In Beverly Hills. And
right. Have you ever been there?
No, never been there. Never even driven by it. And he no longer owns it.
Because he's
dead.
He's dead,
yeah. But he did one of those... he did one of those things where... He did one of those things like Burt Reynolds did, where you're like, hey, I need to sell my place because I'm out of money, but can I stay here until I die? And they're like, yeah, go ahead.
Well, his daughter runs the whole company.
Yeah.
I have her personal email address if you want to talk to her. Yeah, and they're 25 attorneys. Yeah.
And they're 25 attorneys.
You know what she really loves? If you send her a cock with the Playboy emblem on the side of it.
Yeah, they love that.
She loves that.
Yeah, she loves
send her
the
one with
cock.
the Hustler one.
Loves the cock. Larry Flint saw it and he's like, will you make one for us?
He likes to make money.
I did a little combat cock in a wheelchair.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Not really.
That'd be cool.
I'm trying to find... I never find, like, the good ones. You see them, they look perfect on Amazon and eBay and shit. You get them, and they're the wrong size. I need 1/6 scale assault rifles. Because we're going to do a combat cock with a fucking sling around his neck and shit.
So it's got to be...
you got
to be a couple inches long.
I need a Ho Chi Minh helmet. Or like a rice paddy helmet. Or like a Vietnam helmet with like a death card on there or something.
We're going to start this thing?
We did. It's
already running, bro.
Tell them it's the last one.
Podcast episode 99.
It's not the last one. That's not the last one.
5/18, Wednesday, May 8th. What was your highlight of the day?
Oh, shit.
You've done more in 3 days than you've done in fucking 90 days, haven't you?
I've had more physical activity day than I have in the last 10 years.
How many times have you been to the gym?
Every day I was here.
How many times do you think you've worked out since you've been here?
I mean, if you define... I mean, 2 workouts and a lot of exercise.
So when we moved in this building... the first day, I'm like, I am fucking beat to death. And then Jeff comes in the next morning, he's like, I am beat to death. I'm like, what the fuck is, like... What is wrong with this place? It's the sheer amount of walking. There was no stairs in the building. So, and we were placing shit. Like, stuff wasn't where it went.
Right.
So, what were you walking, 5 miles in a day or something?
5 miles a day. That's what my phone was saying. 5 miles every day.
Fucking insane. And like
just
now,
in that little space.
Now we don't really feel it as bad.
I'll say this about today.
Especially now that I'm CBDing.
Today is...
We'll get on that in a minute.
Oh, man. Hold on. Don't jump ahead.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Today...
We got to thank the sponsors.
I would say there was a lot of... I learned some shit about me today. Honestly. I've heard you talk a lot about, like, come out here, it's a boot camp, we'll do this, we'll do that. Like, I talked to Jess a few times, and she was like, what'd you do today? I was like, well, we woke up at 5:30, and we went to the gym, and then we got to work, and then we started working, and then we ate... And she was like...
And worked out 4 more times
Yeah, and she's like, you're at boot camp. And I was like, yeah, but the food's awesome. I was like, if this was boot camp, I think I could do it because the food, but...
Well, then you could go to boot camp, because I'm telling you right now that it doesn't matter what's in there. When by the time you get there, you're like, this is the best dog food I've ever had.
This is the best dog shit I've ever seen.
Yeah. Yeah.
What was your low point?
I got really super... I mean, we're being honest right now. I got like super fucking crazy anxious. Because I thought I was doing something in a way that I thought would be better, and I saw the time being wasted.
What do you think?
On what?
Like, every time a dude comes in the building, he's like, have you ever thought about doing ABC? I'm like, no, we've never fucking thought of that. In 30 years.
That tone.
That's everybody that comes in here. This is my suggestion for anybody who thinks they're going to come work here. Just for at least 30 days. Just at least 30 days. Just shut up. Don't say nothing. Watch what everybody's doing and attempt to do it that way. Because there's nothing that hasn't been hashed out like 5,000 times.
So Pierre's like, have you thought about using like a rod or something to push the bungee up in the sling? I go, No, I've never thought of
He
that.
said no, and I went really happy, and he was like, no, I never fucking thought about that. And I was like, ooh.
We did. I don't know why. Like, we tried a lot of shit, and we could not. There was a snag on something. There was something that it worked, but it fucking fed it backwards or something. There was always some issue. So then Dora comes over, and he finds a fucking perfect dowel. I'm like, where did that even come from? Like, it's a 1/4 inch. It's got a hook on the end. It's like it was made. It's like it was made to do these slings. There's got to be some super expensive thing around here that's missing that, whatever that is. So I go did it. I'm like,
go do it 100 times.
I'm like, go do it. Fuck, go do it 100 times. So he does it. I'm like, did it work? I'm like, there's no fucking way this is gonna work. I don't know. I can't remember what the issue was, but there's some issue. So I'm like, all right, go do it. Test it. Let's see. It's gonna be fucking awesome, or he's gonna be like, it didn't work. So I don't hear anything about it. So
this was yesterday.
Hours later, I'm like, did it work? And they're like, yeah, it worked. I'm like, fucking good. All right, perfect. So today, Dora comes to me, and she's like, hey, these slings, the bungee's all in upside down. I go, does it matter? She goes, yeah, because when we're trying to bunch it back, it's peeling the sheathing off, and we're getting all the raw bungee. Because I had told them, anytime we were doing it, it's labor intensive to build the slings. We melt the bungee on the end, and then we roll it, and it smears it over, right? It seals it. Well, the boys have been taking it and hot knifing it. Well, we can't hot knife it, because when it hot knifes, the sheathing peels back and exposes that.
Right.
Okay? That's why we use 2 pieces in there. So if you were to fuck a piece up or it came loose somehow, there's 2 independent pieces in there. So Dora's like, we can't get them to slide. I'm like, that's it. That's the reason I couldn't think of, because we were halving it, and if you're using a dowel, you got to push them both the same direction. You can't fucking push. You can't put the 2 raw ends in and push from the center and make a W. So I'm like, okay, that's it. I'm like, all right, that almost worked. It fucked everything up.
You walked by and said you fucked everything up.
I didn't say you did I?
No, you said yeah. You said the bunch. She said the bungees are backwards, and you looked at me and said fucked everything up, and kept. And I was like, oh. Like, I was, like, that was probably the low point. I was like, oh, fuck. Like,
so I go over there, and Bill just put it in backwards, which makes no fucking sense, because we've built 18,000 of those since Bill's been here.
Because I asked 5 times, how does the bungee need to go? Because, obviously, if the first one needs to be folded...
I'm still not convinced Bill did. I think he's covering for Pierre.
If the first one gets, folded in half and pushed in, and the second one gets folded in half the other way and pushed in, right? Like, then it's... You can't use the dowel on the second piece.
Dude, you should have seen us when we were trying to get the bungee into the camo ones, because the camo ones, we actually make tubular out, right? So we outside seam it, and then we flip it, right? So now we sew a 550 cord, and we flip it. But when we were loading them with bungee originally, they were super skinny. Dude, we were inflating them. Like, we were blowing up in there with a fucking blower off an air... Like, we did all kinds of shit. Yeah. Like, you literally... You need a special machine to do this. It's like doing headrests. You can get a cat skin, nice, $4,000 leather replacement fucking skin set for your car, right? And they've got this bag that goes over the foam for your head seat, and you vacuum it out. That's not how it's kind of how Bentley does it, but Bentley has this fucking thing that and then like you can do. There's a lot at home shit. I mean, I'm sure we can do it at home heart surgery kit.
I asked her now. I'm still like now like the confidence is like, okay, maybe it's working. But I even asked her like 4 times, like hey, how do you want this bungee put in here? And I go check all the OD ones, because she hadn't sewed the OD ones yet. I was like, go check those and make sure they're right. And then she never came back and said anything. So, and I 3-4 times, how do you want this bungee put in? And then she's like, no, they seem right. I was like, okay,
good, fucking attaboy. It worked, I guess, until it doesn't. There's always
one step forward.
It's just not going to be repeatable. It's going to be one of those things that he's going to have to go in the closet and do every time we do slings. Just won't be repeatable.
That just made me more expensive.
I mean, it's not going to be repeatable.
He did the rest of them. I don't know how they're supposed to go in a 2-point, and he said it works great for the 2 points. So
you'll see a lot of shit. Like, I'll go over there. I'm like, why are you guys marking that with a pencil and then cutting it with scissors and then burning it?
Why don't you use the hot knife?
Why don't you just turn on the fucking $8,000 machine that does that was faster to. It's faster. We only need 50 pieces. It's faster to do it, and they're right. It's faster to do it that way than to let the machine heat up. There's a lot. Like you'll see me, and I can eyeball it. Like I can go right off the ruler and know that I need to come 3 grains to the left and scissor cut it. Boom, 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 boom. Because that's all we had. We didn't.
That's another thing I learned today was like, so all those things that we had to fix, it was half of them were pretty easy because we could just slide it and it would move down. So I didn't have to.
I used the buckle. I moved
yeah,
it
that's
with
what
the
I did.
buckle.
That's
it
what I
drags
did.
it through.
But I was like, I'm just gonna cut the burnt end really close, and maybe the scissors were junk, but I'd cut it and it would start.
The tubular's really hard to cut.
Yeah, it would start to just do weird, and so now I'm like cutting and then going like this to try and get a straight line, and then I looked at Bill and he was like, "Just cut it." He's like, I'll fix everything with that. I'll make the line straight.
There's
with
some
the
margin of error.
Yeah, yeah, that's what he said. Yeah, that's what you said too.
Yeah, that's How was your day?
Same as yesterday.
What was your high point? This, huh?
My high point. Lunch, maybe?
Lunch?
Yeah, chef.
Oh yeah, you got something fancy.
Chef broke up bacon all over my burger and shit. It was good.
My best meal today was the cold salmon. I had leftover salmon from yesterday, but it was cold.
Better.
Like it was a salad salmon, you know?
Yeah.
And then papaya.
Those
Is it
tacos
papaya,
are
mango.
fucking-
Mango.
Mango.
Did you know?
I did not know
There's
this.
9 grams of sugar in a cup of watermelon.
Did not know that.
Did you know that when
Sugar,
I eat a
water,
slice
purple.
of watermelon, I eat the equivalent of 8 cups of watermelon?
Sugar, water, and purple. That's what watermelon is.
I cancel it out with popcorn though, so I think I'm okay.
Yeah, it's a different carb. It absorbs the other carb. You're good.
Okay, so you haven't tried the CBD, even though I've
No.
done it to you twice.
Yes.
You're a fucking weirdo.
I am.
How about you?
So
That's the last fucking thing I thought you were going to tell me.
So John gets his CBD stuff from Pharmacy Extracts.
He's got me fucked up. Pharma extracts. Pharma extracts. Oh, I get it now. Extracts. They're out of Las Vegas. Pharma extracts. Sends the package. He heard me talking. Amanda bought some CBD oil at some health food store, and I took it when we got home that night. And I will tell you to this day, I had the best night's sleep I've had in my life. And then the next night, didn't do shit. And then the next time I tried it, it didn't do shit. And I tried it for a couple weeks, and it didn't do a fucking thing. And this dude heard me saying it on a podcast or live feed or something. He's like, "Hey, what's your address? I'm going to send you some samples." So he sent them, and I went into it like, what the fuck ever. This bullshit's not going to fucking work. And I took Amanda, unknown to me, Amanda had used the vape pen. And I said, "How much did you use?" When I finally found out. She said, just an inhale. Just a puff. That's all she used. Said, and when I got into bed, she was fucking snoring. And I had a bag of pork rinds I'm rattling around. I spill fucking half a plate of watermelon juice and I'm cleaning it up. And she had no idea. She woke up, probably, she's like, "What is all this shit all over me?" Fucking on her side of the bed. So I take a dropper. I don't know the math. Like there's a lot of math on these sheets. And I'm like, fuck it. I'll just use a dropper. So I take a dropper under the tongue and I'm letting it, sit there 30 seconds. And I knock the bottle over. And I'm like, well, that's probably a lot of CBD oil on that on the counter. So I use the dropper and I suck up 3 full droppers worth out of this puddle on the counter. And I'm like, I better take... so I licked the rest of it off the counter. And there's a lot of it. I don't know how much I got. But I slept fucking amazing. So I tell him that. Amanda uses the vape thing the next night. So I use the vape thing the next night. And... boom, works. I sleep really well. It doesn't make me sleep longer. I just sleep fast and deep. It's like I got 6 hours of sleep in 3 hours is really what it's like. So I'm talking on live feed a couple nights later, and I'm telling him this. He's like, and he said, the vape is much faster. The liquid, the sublingual, is more potent, I think is what he said. And I said, all I just heard you say is that I should do both. And he's like, totally, great idea. So I did both, and I don't know. I mean, does it look like I'm not taking any more stimulants? I'm actually using less stimulants for the last probably month. But I'm up and I'm moving and I'm pretty good.
I've never in my life, and caveat this with, I don't know how long you've been awake, seen somebody move like you that early in the morning. It's
just a choice.
Without it's really weird to explain.
Right before we went to the gym.
Yeah.
That's the first. On the way to the gym. That's the first stimulant.
I believe you, and it was just unreal to me. Like I don't get it. It was just, I know there's morning people. Like I can get up out of bed and be out of the house from like a dead sleep in like 6 minutes. Like I don't like throw some clothes on, get out the door, I'm late for work, right? But
I know I've seen you show up in fucking pajamas and 2 different shoes to have breakfast in the morning.
I'm still like groggy. You know what I mean? Like,
you know what
it takes me a while to get up.
I think the key to you getting up, I think the key is fear.
When there's
I will fear you out of your sleep.
Yeah. You're fired. You're gonna get flogged.
I will fear you right out of sleep, and I think you'll be 100%.
So every minute you're
I asked Jeff. I'd forgotten Jeff had it, so I asked Jeff about it, and Jeff, like my mom would have said, "Oh, he'll poo-poo anything. He'll poo-poo anything. That won't work. That's witchcraft." The last fucking thing I thought I was going to hear is that, what are you laughing about? Go ahead.
I usually do poo-poo things because, most of it is bullshit.
Everything.
Even this is probably bullshit. It's probably just me
Placebo?
convincing myself.
I don't think so, because I seriously thought it wasn't going to do shit.
So John gives me this miraculous story. Him and Amanda swear by this love potion that it will make you go to sleep. I don't sleep very well, so I'm like, you know what? It's Saturday night. I don't have to be anywhere in the morning. Let me hit this thing.
Yeah, I'm expecting to sleep through the day.
Let me hit this thing. John relayed the story about, I popped like 3 full droppers of it and licked half a gallon off the fucking counter, and I'm fine. So I'm like,
he's like, John does everything to the max. I better do 1/10 of that.
So I'm like, okay, so I do 1 full dropper, and then
that's what we should have been like. You need to get some bottles that are more than 1 dose.
That's it. I do 1 full dropper, and I'm like...
But have you done DMT?
No, I have not DMT. So I do the full dropper, and then I'm like, that just, okay, here's the thing. Tincture. If you ever hear tincture, it really means that there's nothing there. So it's a tincture, so I'm like, that means that there's really nothing in this. Let me hit another one. So I do 2 full droppers of this shit.
No wonder you feel good.
Is it like a... Hold on, we need to pause right here for a minute. Seriously. Is it like an older generation thing where you just say, like... Is it because of you that people have to... Like, there's warning labels on how much of shit you should take? Because I've like... I would laugh...
It's all you pussies. That's why they got warning labels.
I'm just, like...
We didn't have to have fucking pilot license. Our grandparents came home. They gave them Harley Davidsons from the war. They gave them airplanes.
I'm with you.
Like... my grandpa landed in a fucking cornfield. Like, we just flew where we wanted to fly. Like, I'm telling you, I think that I can land the plane on the highway here, and we can just push it. We can push it up on and then when we want to fly, we just take off in the dark.
I'm in. I'm just saying, like.
So anyways, tincture, I take these two things, and I'm...
What is the proper dose?
Laying in bed going...
One drop.
Dropper.
I was going to say that. Yeah, you needed to put a warning on that motherfucker. So I'm laying in bed, and it does fucking nothing for me to go to sleep. So I'm like, I go just like
have a margarita with it.
I go just like I thought. This is just some bullshit. Now, if for any of you who listen to any of these things on a regular, you know that knees and feet. My knees and feet always hurt. They hurt right now. So when I get up in the morning, my knees and feet fucking hurt.
Did you try the salve?
I did. I didn't like it.
The smell?
No. Just it's like beard butter. So you really got to be like,
yeah, you got to rub it in. It's like that comfort shit too.
You got to really get in there. So
I have a oil too that you rub on.
So I wake up.
We're placing another order, so just fucking write down what you want. We'll get it.
I wake up, my knees and feet don't. My knees don't hurt. My feet don't hurt as much. So I'm like, oh, that was pretty good. Oh man, I gotta take a shit though. So I go in the bathroom.
It's in MCT oil. Jeff
I go in the bathroom and blow out a number 7 on the Bristol chart. So
if you don't know Bristol, check out
just
the Bristol.
look it up. I blow out a number 7. It's
we
fucking
should
mess.
print the Bristol chart on the back of our cards we send to customers.
Bristol sale.
This is for your health.
It's a mess. I'm like, I wonder what I ate yesterday. That's some bullshit. Anyways, so for the last 4 days, my knees are doing much better. I've been doing this shit, the 2 full droppers
It's the
every
humors,
night.
your bad humors.
Yeah.
You need to be bloodletted.
For 2 full days, and I've been just blowing out number 7.
You gotta be feeling lighter.
Every time or just in the morning?
Like, are we talking
as
just...
soon as I get up? I got
just in the morning.
Just in the
Do you
morning.
normally
It's
shit in the
probably
morning?
cleaning
No, usually I
inside
shit
your
at night.
intestines out.
So
I
I'm
shit
blowing
like
these
12 times a day.
I'm blowing these number 7s out, and then I tell John this, and he's like, it's probably the carrier. And Amanda immediately goes,
Yeah, dumbass.
she's like, it's blah 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 oil that's in there with that, and that's why you're fucking blowing your guts out. I'm like, well,
MCT.
maybe I'll just not do as much. But the problem is that little wimpy ass bottle, man. That
See,
bottle, that
I
little
think
wimpy.
You're being very, like, a wimpy bottle. You take 2 droppers and your knees ain't hurting. Like, that's not wimpy.
But I feel like I need to take 3.
I think you
Fuck
should.
it,
Let's see what
let's-
happens. Maybe that's
I feel
it.
like I need to
Maybe
take
you're
every-
building up a tolerance.
The
Take
top
out-
of the scale is 7.
Take
Your shit ain't gonna get worse.
take some of that oil out of there and just increase the whatever it is.
So I
You
think
can
those.
smoke
I
it
think
and
those are test bottles or the less
Yeah.
costly. There is like a $500 bottle of it.
You don't
So-
have to use the oil. There's 1,000 ways to take the CBD.
Yeah,
I
you can
gotcha.
oral. you
Right,
can-
yeah.
all
But
kinds of
here's
shit.
They
This
make
is
cookies, they make pills, they make vape.
But the
This is the
strongest,
thing-
the
the
strongest
strongest is-
one
yeah.
is
This
the
is the
drop.
thing about all this stuff is I would honestly, and this is where that old stuff comes in. I would rather be like this. Oh, fuck, my legs hurt. Walking around here all day
Shitting every morning.
than to have to fucking seek out any type of thing. It's kind of like John's. It's kind of like John's. Hey, you should really take testosterone. You should really get some. And then when I go and talk to them, and they're like, "Yeah, you just got to come in here every fucking Friday, and we'll fucking pop you." And I'm like,
you want to know the deal?
"Yeah, I don't even want to. I'm
You
not.
wanna know the
I'm not
deal?
dealing with that shit."
Hold on. There's a. If you go to Kentucky,
Kentucky.
dude, not far, like barely.
Yeah,
into
it's
Kentucky.
just Kentucky's right there.
Not even far
2.5
into it.
drive.
We go to Kentucky.
We go to Kentucky.
You have to have a meeting with the doc.
Get your blood work before you go.
It's about $250 a month. He's gonna when we talk to him over internet or whatever, he's gonna give you an order for blood work. We go to LabCorp, which they can do right at in the basement at the hospital here in Camden, or your doc, whatever.
Yeah.
And he gets a portal. He's gonna have all your shit right from LabCorp. We have to go see him, and for about $250 a month, he's gonna give you testosterone and HCG and a anti-estrogen. He's gonna give you the whole deal, like all the shit, and they're gonna mail it to your fucking house. And he has to, and then you're gonna have a web interview with him, a teleconference with him, every 90 days.
Covers
And
your blood work, covers
Everything, dude.
Here's what screwed me about how I did my first set of testosterone. We'll just leave it as descriptive as that. The blood work, because my insurance didn't cover it, was $900 some, $850.
Fuck.
Then the testosterone was $560.
That's what I pay.
Then there was a $25 doctor visit I got in the
Yeah, fortunately.
So $1,400.
And a $150 install or $175.
Well, that was in the
to put
five
Okay.
something. So $1,500 spent. They didn't last 3 months. And I'm pretty sure they wore out before 3 months. And there's big dudes. They sit on them and it crushes them. Then they get absorbed really fast. All these.
Pierre, you have to have them surgery. You have to use a scalpel and put them in your muscle. You can't just stick them in your butt.
Well, I took some MCT oil after. And just
Fortunately, I have to get my
blew the
blood
toilet.
checked every 3 months, so it's
the only
totally
thing.
covered.
But they're gonna order different shit.
But you can tell them.
Yeah, I mean,
The
that's
place
not-
I'm
It's
going
not
to.
expensive. That's
No.
in your.
Yeah,
That's
they'll
in
do
your.
whatever
That's in
panel.
your shit.
The place I'm going to now, just because it was close and convenient, they treat diabetes, they treat testosterone, they treat
Throat cancer.
thyroid, and they do like an allergy thing where they'll do like 60 tests, like scratch test, see what you're, and then they do. It's
They
a
usually
90
do that
months.
on your back.
Yeah, they do. It's 90 days, I think, or
needles.
something like that, and then they figure out the dosage of whatever they need, and then you do these vials, and it goes smaller to bigger, and they just heavy dose you with the stuff till your body builds an immunity to it. So
To allergies?
to allergies. So it's supposed to be for like the pollen and stuff like that, which
Really, they're giving them Chinese bird flu.
probably. But to me, that was worth the experimenting because
What
the
would you do if
allergies
you woke
wrecked
up
me.
in the morning and had a pig's tail? Like growing out, like a dog tail, but a curly pigtail.
Like short.
Yeah. Would you tell anyone?
Yeah, because society has changed. The more fucked up you are, the more
Yeah, you'd
the
be
odds.
in, dude. You'd be in.
Like I would
Would you-
have to start wearing. Well,
Would you
no,
cut
we're
a
not gonna
hole
go
in
that
your-
way
Would
with
you
it.
cut a hole in your pants so your tail just
Yeah.
fucking
Oh, you
lasts?
would have to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you'd be in
Yeah.
like
Oh,
a
yeah. And I would
motherfucker.
start my own YouTube channel, and I'd
Yeah.
trademark it and be Pig Boy and
Yeah,
be
you'd
a
be
billionaire. Fucking
especially if you could make it. Especially
Oh,
if you
man.
could work it like a dog. Like
sluts
a
would be
chicken.
coming out
Like
of
Jack,
the
was it,
woodwork.
what was that Jack Black? Was it Jack Black had the bestial tail or whatever?
It's crazy how chicks always want to fuck the weird dudes.
Or the fucking unemployed.
That's what
Yeah,
I'm
it's
saying.
The unemployed dudes.
There's a lot of motherfuckers walking around this motherfucker with like missing teeth and shit. Front
Getting
teeth
pussy.
too.
Getting pussy.
The flowerless roses that vine up in trees, isn't that devil's claw? I don't know. It'll fucking cut you like fucking. It's like it's like you shook a cat up and just fucking threw it on yourself. It's fucking it literally. Porsche made tractors. That's news to me. I knew Lamborghini did. I'd never heard Porsche
know
made
why?
tractors. Why?
Why Lamborghini started making why Lamborghini started making cars?
Because yeah.
So they
yeah, I
make
have-
tractors first. Is that what
Yes,
you're
They
saying?
started with Lamborghini started making tractors. He went to Ferrari, he's super successful, and he's like, "Hey, I want a car." And Enzo
Yeah.
told him,
Go
"Go fuck yourself.
Yeah,
I'm not
literally.
giving you a car." And he looked at him and he said,
I'll build my
"Fuck
own.
me, no, fuck you, motherfucker." And then started Lamborghini.
So
Porsche started off with Mercedes.
Ferrari's like the prancing pony. It's
Yeah.
the show horse. It's fucking super high strung. When lightning hits, your horse dies. You know, shit like that. Lamborghini is the raging bull. Like if you want a car that you don't have to maintain, like you have to maintain it obviously. But if you actually want to drive that
Not as
motherfucker,
finicky.
yes, not as finicky, exactly.
The Huracan, they say, is hands down the best car to buy and beat the shit out
Good
of.
looking car, man.
Dude, they're
I'm
supercharging them.
just waiting for somebody to beat the shit out of it, and then I'm gonna buy it.
They're supercharging them. They're twin turboing
What are
them.
they, about 300?
I think the Huracans are. I think they're in the 160.
You can get one in the 160.
Yeah, about 40, 50,000 miles on it. Like, there's guys. That guy in Vegas, he's got more than one Huracan.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's got 100,000 miles
There's a
plus.
video of somebody wrecking it.
Yeah.
Yeah, running one of
Yeah.
wrecked it. 35 Remington is a 308 case, necked up, and 357 diameter projectile. In my mind, serves me right. If my mind serves me right, it's pretty cool because you can load rifle and pistol bullets in the same case chamber.
Cool.
They got this other thing too.
Weird.
I'll bet you have one. Do
Maybe.
you have a mount that you have? Do you have a Glock on the bottom of your handguard on your M4?
I do not. I
Then
do
you
not.
could have a 9mm and a 5.56.
Yeah, I do not have that. Now, I did see. So I went to when Gail McMillan was still alive. We went to his place, and he wanted to see our M40s, but we went to his place, and he took us to his safe that they had, and it was fucking. It was just basically it was a room with a big fucking safe door on it, and it had all kinds of guns in it and shit, and his favorite gun was he had a fucking 50 cal. He had a 50 cal that he had necked down to 308. And it pushed that. He said, he's like, it's a fucking light. It's a laser beam. It just shoots this 30 cal bullet fucking like a laser beam. And I'm like, man, because you know
Yeah.
I'm like, the neck on that thing is out of control.
It's a shoulder at that point.
He's like, I go, how long does that barrel last? He goes, oh, you can't fire many rounds through it, but it's fucking awesome.
That's fucking cool.
Have you heard of M855A1?
It's the new stuff, yeah.
We have a mutual friend. I'm not gonna say his name. Everybody knows him. That I've been like, listen, I want a mag full. Like, just get me a single mag full. It's like breaking bolts in a couple thousand rounds. It's killing the throats in 3,000-4,000. It's destroying guns, but it's coming out.
Yeah,
It's fucking.
Sounds awesome.
So the proof round is at 60,000. This is running consistently at 59,000 psi.
Sounds perfect. I love taking. There's
It's
nothing.
green.
Nothing I love more. Nothing I love more than taking a half-ton Chevy,
Yeah.
K5 Blazer,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
truck, and putting a 502 in it.
Yeah.
Ramjet, love it.
Yeah.
And then stay half-ton suspension. Fucking half-ton
That's
running
exactly
gear,
what they're doing.
Stay with that little
Yep.
fucking
Yep.
ring and pinion, and then I just drive real slow, but it sounds real loud.
They say they're fucking. It's. Man, it's. It's eco-friendly.
Eco-friendly.
I swear to God, it's eco-friendly. There's
But
no
you know why
steel core and it's steel core and copper. There's no lead.
Yeah, it's just all it's just AP. That's all, I mean that's really all
black
it is.
tip 30.6.
Yeah, it's just AP. That's all it is.
You remember firing green tip inside the indoor range in Oceanside? I'm like, what is that? What do I keep getting hit with?
Why is it sparking?
Yeah,
Down
you
there?
didn't catch on fire.
Oh no, we were in it was indoor. There's nothing to catch on fire, but we were getting hit.
If they don't have a good ventilation system, there's a lot of unburnt powder in the air. There's a video of this range. Yes, that's why you're not allowed to shoot green tip.
Well, we were shooting. We weren't allowed to shoot green tip because they were leaving the building sometimes.
Oh, they were.
Sometimes you'd see daylight down there.
There's a video of somewhere in Mexico or something. They're shooting a dragon's breath indoor on a range.
Oh, that's all. And it flashback.
The whole range actually erupted.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was instant fire everywhere.
And then died.
I think they got out.
And then it flashed down, or did it keep burning?
Everything caught
because
on fire.
a lot of the rangers have the rubber. They're shredded rubber in there.
Right.
So I bet if you could get that rubber to go, man, boy, that bitch would burn for
but your walls aren't rubber.
Correct.
Everything else is 2x4 and.
Well, these were concrete, cinder block.
Cinder block walls.
Yeah, there was no framing in there. Weapons collection. That's actually the last three questions, which Pierre just pointed out. I didn't realize that. The real question here is it legal to move my antiques and oddities to Tennessee since they aren't being sold? I guess it would depend on what antiques and oddities you have. I am sure that there is a provision to do that since you're original owner. Like there is some weird shit. You will still see elephant stuff for sale, for instance. You'll still see stuff for sale that people don't realize is illegal. I have some elephant stuff. I've got some cool shit. I have paperwork that comes with all that. Like my elephant stuff came from a museum that had closed down. It sold at an auction. I have all the paperwork and all that shit on everything. And then there's certain dates. You have to be able to show lineage. What's that called when you have where it came from and the timeline and all that shit, like with the Japanese swords and all that shit. You have to be able to show the timeline and proof. And I'm sure there is a way to do it if what you have is is legal stuff. I'm sure.
This is not legal advice.
Most states, if you have if you are in a state that has something that's legal, and you want to move to a state where it's illegal, they have a way to petition the state and be like California, for example. If I'm from Tennessee and I want to move to California, I can actually petition California Department of Justice and say, hey, I'm moving from Tennessee to California. I have these assault rifles, and they have to open up the registry for you to put those weapons on the registry because you're coming from out of the state. So most places have there's something there, but it's one of those things like you don't know what you don't know. So if you move here and you have a fucking, I don't know, a 5,000-year-old Japanese sword in the skull of King Kong, you may be going to jail because you didn't do the paperwork.
Two things. It's Tennessee and very liberal with stuff.
Lax
with stuff.
Yeah.
B, does it have to, for the gun stuff with California, does it have to follow
their laws?
The laws?
No,
because if like me and you and everybody else decide to move to California,
it has to follow the law at the point of legality. So, for example, I own assault rifles in the state of California. I owned assault rifles. None of those assault rifles had to have button bullets, funky stocks, or nothing. I could walk around with that because it was registered with the state of California. I could walk around it just like anywhere else because I had registered it. So because I had the paperwork, I could do it. Now, people will give you shit, but I had the paperwork. You, because you lived here, bought a legal assault rifle, or their definition of assault rifle, and you bought it legally, and you want to move to California, they have to open up the 92 assault weapons ban that my rifle was registered on. They have to open that up for you and be like, oh, okay, you got this fucking thing. Here's your registration card. Welcome to California.
When you say assault rifle, because I know you're from California, when you say assault rifle, is it the California definition or the real definition?
It's the California definition.
Okay,
Everything's
just to be,
California
just to be.
definition.
It was
Meaning
the
anything,
3 to 5.
Yeah, I got it.
bullshit.
Yeah. All the bullshit.
The AR-15 that you buy off the street here out of
At a
somebody's
store
car
legally, yes.
legally, if you go to California, that's an assault rifle.
Yeah, for
I
you guys
know.
that don't know, it was like 3 to 5. It was detachable magazine, pistol grip, flash hider, bayonet lug, like we need that, and retractable stock.
So if I move, I can take all my stuff there,
You have to
and I don't have
petition-
to, and I don't have to
you-
change anything.
You'd
You,
fit in
you
perfectly
have
in
to
California.
you have to petition.
Correct. They
have to
can say yes or
petition-
no, but if they say yes, I don't have to change anything.
No,
Even the pistols.
No, because what they're going to do is have you register those weapons as assault weapons. So you'll
if they let you.
you'll get the same thing. You'll
Yeah.
have the same thing I have. You'll have a fucking card that you have to have everywhere you take those fucking weapons. Anytime you pull them out, you have to have
Mags?
mags are different. Well,
So I'm curious what the legality thing is when they opened it for 3 days and all these. If you bought it, and so you have to walk around with your receipt.
I think that was entrapment, man.
yeah, I mean,
What are they gonna do after the fact?
the
I
mags
think that was them selling that shit.
mags is a little weird.
I think that was them just.
They sold. The
Making a
PSA
database.
sold out of.
Yeah.
Everybody
Yeah.
was selling out of them.
Yeah, you think DOJ doesn't know who bought that shit?
Oh, I know.
Yeah, but the issue there is there's no reason for it. So the mag thing, the real reason why they did the mags has nothing to do with we don't want people to have 30-round magazines. The real reason why they did the mags is so they can have riders. So you commit a crime, whatever it is, you commit a fucking
5-year
you
enhancement
hit your
for every
fucking
mag.
yeah, you hit your fucking wife. They come in your house and there's 20 fucking mags there.
Life.
You're going to jail forever because you had 20 high capacity mags. It's just a rider that they put on there so they can go like this.
Yeah.
So when they get to court, they can go like this. All right, bro. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to plead guilty to
5 years.
domestic assault. You're going to get 6 months in county.
We're gonna fuck.
We're
your
going to put
wife
you
while
on
you're in jail.
probation. You're going to have a felony. We're keeping all your shit. That's really what they're doing.
They didn't when they took all my guns. They didn't inventory any of the like. For every gun, there was fucking $2,000 worth of like
They get-
legit like optics and shit, like best of the best.
No, that's the.
They
Fuck
took
no.
all my guns. They took
Yeah,
all
but
my
that-
guns.
That was
gave
that was truckloads.
They took all my guns, gave me all my guns back,
Minus.
didn't give me one magazine.
They left one of their shotguns from the raid in my house. I didn't even have any.
And
guns.
this is no shit.
Tradesies.
This is
They
what
stole a bunch of porn and unopened dishes.
they gave me. Think about. I want you to think about what I'm about to tell you. They gave me all my guns back, right? They gave me all my guns back, which they had to because those were the serialized items, right? They had to give me those guns back. And when I said, well, "What about all the fucking magazines that I had?" This is their exact answer. Oh yeah, we don't want those to fall in the wrong hands. Wait, you gave me guns, motherfucker.
I know 2 people. Including myself. So 3 people went to police impound to get my HK91 back with my mom, and they gave me my HK91, and they gave me a pistol that did not belong to me
I have a real good friend.
in San Diego. I was 17, 16.
I have a real good friend who was wounded in the Panama invasion. So he gets wounded in the Panama invasion. Pretty good. He got pretty good wounded. And he's home on convalescent leave. He's home. Assault weapons ban has already been done. It's etched in stone. It's like it's done. You can't buy a fucking assault weapon. This is pre-bullet button, so there's no fucking AR-15s or anything in the country.
Give me a year.
Was it 92, 93?
So the
Oh,
original
right
assault,
Yeah,
the Bill
original
Clinton one.
one.
Original.
Yeah. Okay.
Original.
All right.
So he's whatever year we invaded Panama.
Before that.
Yeah, it had to been before that.
Okay.
Anyway, so assault weapon ban. Maybe he's out.
Yeah,
Anyways,
he had to be out.
He decides
had to be full.
he gets drunk one night. He's a ranger, so he gets drunk and goes out in his front yard.
Do I know this person?
I don't think so. And fires his fucking AK-47 off in the neighbor. He's in a regular suburban neighborhood. Boom, 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 boom. Fires his AK off. Goes inside. Passes out on the floor. Sheriff's department shows up. Oh, what's going on here? Oh, here's an assault rifle right here. So they jam him up. Take his gun.
Did he tell him, I don't think I'm going to let you arrest me today?
He immediately calls me, and he's like, "Hey, this is what just happened.
Get to the house.
How much trouble am I in?" I'm like, "Dude, you are fucked. You have an unregistered assault rifle in California. You are fucked. You're going to jail.
How about, wait, with the right amount of money. With the right amount of money and a lawyer friend of ours who has his office in Beverly Hills.
It's even better than that. I go, you need to get a lawyer immediately. Call the NRA, whatever. You are fucked.
The NRA won't help him.
Yeah, they won't help you. And he's like, oh, okay. So I totally forget about it. I don't see this guy for 5 years. Like, because I'm in the Marine Corps. He's,
Right.
he's insane. I don't see him for 5 years. When I see him, the next time I see him, he's San Diego PD. Right? In his uniform. No. He's San Diego PD. I'm like, what the fuck? I go, hey, man, how's it going? Blah, blah, blah. I'm talking to him, and I'm like, what happened with that? I go, obviously, things worked out, right? What happened with the thing? And he goes,
Judge was like,
you never guess what happened. And I'm like, okay, well, just tell me.
You're right.
I'm never going to guess. So he goes, Sheriff's Department wrote up the report, sent it to the district attorney. District attorney got it and went, you guys write like third graders, and sent it back to the fucking Sheriff's Department. Sheriff's Department wrote the report up again, sent it to district attorney. So this whole time, he's got like a lawyer on retainer.
Yeah.
He's like shitting bricks because he's going to go to jail forever. Right. 3 times, the Sheriff's Department sends this report to the district attorney, and the district attorney's like, yeah, fuck no, I'm not doing this. And sends it back to the Sheriff's Department. So he gets a call from the Sheriff's Department. Boop, boop, boop.
Come pick up your...
Hey, man, we need you to come down here and pick up your rifle. And he's like, what? We need you to come. Yeah, it's always a trap, right?
Yeah.
It's a trap.
Everyone
Trap.
knows
It's a trap. I go, it's a trap. And he's like, we need you to come. So he goes to the Sheriff's Department. I'm here to pick up my rifle. And the Sheriff's Department's like, oh, yeah, AK, here you go. Gives it to him. And he walks out of the Sheriff's Department in Santee with his AK-4 unregistered assault rifle.
Yeah. We were down at the police station we were at the police station that was down by, it was a big one down, I want to say it was kind of downtown, but closer to SeaWorld. I don't know what area that would have been. It was 2 stories. And we walked out the front door with an HK-91 with a big old fucking scope on it. Just walked out, shithead kid, people walking in, police like, what the fuck?
Hi, guys. So my sister got in some trouble. And there were...
Like silly trouble?
Yeah, teenage stupid trouble. 2 charges. One of them was a little bit more serious than the second one. One of them was kind of like, don't do it again. The other one, should have got in trouble. So she's losing her mind, blah, blah, blah. We hide it from my dad. It comes the time to go to court. We got to tell my dad. My dad's got to get her a lawyer. We called the family friend. Like, so there's this whole
drama
charade going on. So we get there, and the lawyer's a really good friend of ours, like very close friend, like family friend. We've known him for 30 years. So he goes to my sister. He goes, basically, I need you to look sad, shut the fuck up, I'll handle everything. So she sits down, and the judge gets her stuff, and he starts thumbing through it, and he goes, there's some paperwork missing here. The second sheet of paper had the second more serious charge on it. The first sheet of paper had like 2 charges or what, you know what I mean? Like first charge this, and then he's like, this must be a typo, and scratched off the fuck. So she only got hit with like the one thing, and so she's sitting there like bug-eyed, and he's looking at her, and he goes, you need to seriously like just dial it down. So she like got her one get out of jail free and blah 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 blah. But it was like she comes home and I was like, you should be doing backflip. They're gonna make me do this and that. Blah, probate. I gotta go piss it. Who cares, bro? Like you got everything scot clean, like over some bullshit. Like just shut the fuck up.
And there's so many people that get that. You know, they get pre-trial release or something, and then their shit gets thrown out.
Right.
But where they get jammed up is they piss fucking dirty on that fucking while they're on that fucking release or that probation. There's so many people like seriously like minute dumbass charges like driving away and not paying for gas. You couldn't even do that in California, but here it happens, right? So or wrote a fucking bad check or something, like they'll put your ass in jail. So you're on probation, which really is just taxing you.
Right. Like
you have to. I had 2 girls working for us that would have to go and report in on, I think it was like Wednesday or something at noon, And they would get there, and that motherfucker was never there. They would have an appointment written on their card, send me a photo. They were not fucking there ever. And it's just fucking collecting tax. While you're on there, you got to pay the fee. But there's some more stupid shit would happen, and then get boom, back in court, more charges.
Right.
Fucking insane. Just over piddly shit, man.
Yeah,
that system is made to keep people.
You should
in
go
that system.
if you not that you have time to do it. We had to go do it.
We'll go.
But
We'll
go
Wednesday.
go to court here on Wednesday.
Dude, it's
like,
awesome.
It's awesome.
But you got to really go
shenanigans.
like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, to the shenanigans that are there, and she'll be there.
Gina will be there.
Gina will be there. The shenanigans that go on in the courtroom, for me, it's amazing just to see how much restraint and how
I don't know how the bailiffs aren't just
like
bouncing motherfuckers off the ground.
The judge, the guy that runs that court here in Camden,
Super
is
fair.
fucking awesome.
Super,
he's
I
fucking
can't believe
awesome.
it. I want to stand up. Here's one that really sticks out. We're in there, and we see the same people in there. We've been probably 7 times. We always have some girl or somebody with some silly shit. So we go to see what's happening and if they need something done. We go in there and we see the same fucking people every time. In the audience, and then we see the same people in trouble again. So this girl, snaggletooth chick, he's like, have you paid your fine? No, I haven't been able to get the money, but I just did a job for my friend, and as soon as she gets paid for the state, she's going to give me the money, and then I'm going to pay part of it. And he goes, what's the job? She goes, well, I cleaned your bedroom for her. And he goes, when are you going to pay this? He goes, I hope to pay it next week. He goes, I have given you 6 months to pay this $38. $38. And motherfuckers left in the same story, dude. 10 of those get up there. Dude's like, I can't get a job. Nowhere's hiring. He goes, have you tried, what's the place that burns down? MagPro. Have you tried MagPro? Have you tried Jones Plastic? Have you tried big places, factories, doing boxing, cardboard boxes and shit for General Electric and shit, refrigerators and shit. I want to stand up and go, I got a job for him. Send a dude with a shotgun. Give me 5 of them dudes. We'll have them fucking work. I'll feed them. Fucking, you let me know what their fines are. I'll prepay them right now. I'll pay their fines off right now.
It's just amazing. And what amazes me is how, just even-handed the judge is. Because, that girl, she walked into the courtroom with $38 worth of fucking junk food.
She might as well, farted right there on the stand. Just fucking, just disrespectful.
But he's always...
I can't comprehend people like that.
It's just, dude, it is like Jerry Springer, man. So weapons collection, about your antique stuff. I do the don't ask, don't tell. Are you really going to put it on, don't put it on social media, whatever. Most people don't know. If you have some real shit that you are concerned about, get with me and I will give you a couple names of some dudes that will know which attorneys you need to talk to. And I would talk to them from your area, as well as an attorney where you're going also, because it might be illegal to move it out of your state, or it might be illegal to move it into this state. Yeah. That's what a lot of that is. Human remains, you can have it in Tennessee, but moving it to and from Tennessee is the issue. So
seek a lawyer for
get a real lawyer, and not just, and most lawyers would be like, it's not gonna be a problem. You need the lawyer. You need the lawyer that deals in that kind of shit or has dealt in that kind of stuff. I know the little smart cars do not come with a spare. It has a plug kit, a tube of sealant, and a small air compressor. That's what both my Porsches have.
It should just have fucking a couple of pack straps. Should just click to the top of the roof.
We've seen rucksacks bigger than that at the SHOT Show, at that SHOT Show booth.
Smart cars?
The bane of my existence.
And newer Corvettes have run flat tires and no spare. So does BMW. I believe they can go 55 miles at 55 miles per hour. I don't think it's a federal law that all cars are sold with spare. No, I believe that whoever said that was just repeating something.
I think it has to have, I'm pretty sure it has to have either run flats or a spare or somewhere to repair the spare.
Got it. Any plans to make a single fold wallet instead of a bifold? You might see that. I've got a few. I have one I carry every day that I've had for 5 years probably that I made. This motherfucker right here wants one. Skully, you ever think about a diesel tank for your tractor in the bed of your truck? I was just thinking it might be easier.
Yeah, that would be a lot easier, but I'm going to get
It takes up so much room.
It takes up room, and I don't want to be driving around with all that shit. I'm just going to get a
Gravity tank.
Yeah, gravity tank for the property. They're not that expensive.
Like I wanted to do that on the flatbed.
Huh?
But there's so many times that we forklift some shit on the flatbed, and if that fuel cell was there, you would have to fucking take it off and shit.
Oh, what's not that much?
Gravity tanks are not that expensive.
Well, what's not that expensive?
250, 300 bucks.
Yeah, 300 bucks.
Oh shit!
You get them right off Craigslist.
How big?
250 gallons, 300 gallons.
There's 2 of them right out back.
Yeah, he's got 2 out there. He's actually got 3. We don't have the third one set up.
It's just like shit like that, like a lot of stuff I've been like gravity tanks and waters, like all that shit. Like it's either like I got no idea of what it should cost.
You want to take that one and fuck with it?
It seems
not pretty enough. It's not
pretty
orange.
enough.
What?
It's not pretty enough.
It seems
I'll
like
just buy one.
The price of certain stuff just seems like, man, that seems really fucking expensive, or that seems really fucking cheap. But I guess if it's just a fucking tank,
Yeah, it's just a metal.
Here's the question I ask myself: could I build it? Is it worth me? Like, what would it take to manufacture that thing? You know, like there was a dude on my Instagram talking shit about the Botanica shorts. He wasn't really talking shit, but still, could I build? Is it worth $160 for me to make them? If I made these motherfuckers, they'd come like, it would look like I made them. Like it's not worth fucking with. I have Botanica shorts that are, I'll bet, going on 6 years now.
I get an email from Botanica every time they send one out.
You know why we do our emails the way we do? It's
What?
because of Botanica.
How they do theirs?
Because they fucking get me. They tricked me to buy something every time they did it.
So they get like, I'll get an email and it'll be like 10% off Botanica, or if they're running a sale, and I'll get so excited. I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna go buy some. I'm gonna buy a hoodie this time.
They don't have your size.
They either don't have my size or it's $475 for a sweatshirt, and I'm like, okay, we're gonna wait on that. Like the jackets and stuff like that. I'm like, I'm gonna buy a jacket. I'm gonna buy a jacket. I'm gonna buy a jacket. Then it's like $675, 10% off, and I'm like, and I never. But you watch those like.
Do the math. That's a lot of money.
I know, but my point is, like, I have a fascination with Mount Everest. Anytime Mount Everest is on TV, everything's got to stop. I love the idea of Mount Everest.
I can take you to the highest fucking point in Benton County.
That's the start.
There's a cross there.
There's a start, but like I'd like to go at least to base camp once. Like that's on the.
No,
bucket
I
list.
agree. That's the only place I want.
Yeah, the climbing it would maybe when I get, but like you think about it, and then people are like, I'm gonna go climb it, and you just think about all the money that you need to spend and all the preparation and do all the things and pay for the guide and all this other stuff.
You used to be able to.
The good old days.
Not even the good old days. Just a couple years ago, you used to be able to. If you
that
showed up, you could climb Mount Everest. All you had to do is get there, and you could climb Mount Everest and not spend any money because all the equipment is left on the mountain. Everything, to include oxygen, tents, everything's left. But they have a program now. They have a program now where every climber has to bring down
something,
just a little bit of trash. But all the Sherpas are bringing, like, they took I want to say this year already, they've taken like 4 metric tons of trash off the fucking mountains.
You might want to warm up like with Rainier or.
That's my point. That's what I'm saying. You see the stuff like that, the gear that they use, like the jackets and the layers.
It's
Arc'teryx,
insane
that, like that. Those high dollar, high quality
that
stuff.
They were doing this shit 60 years ago.
Yeah.
When none of the technical clothing or fucking.
The first guys that climbed it used hemp rope, bro.
Right, but I think the evolution is the speed.
No, it's very cool. It's very cool.
Yeah. Dude's doing it with no oxygen.
If you really want to do that shit, like we know dudes that do that.
Yeah, you want to altitude some shit. You want to altitude some shit before you think you're going to do something.
Yeah, you might want to visit Colorado first.
Probably.
See how you do there.
Walking around just even.
Denali, Whitney. Any plans to make a single full wallet? Hey guys, I got my Easter mystery items. It's purdy. I was also supposed to get the pre-workout I ordered, but either the post office or my apartments lost it. I filed a claim, going to order some on. Send me an email with your order number. Was that a separate order and that just the pre-workout didn't get there, or it was missing out of your order? Because if it was missing out of, just send me an email with some order numbers. Let's figure out what happened there. Going to order some Onward in the meantime. Thanks again for the gear. Maybe it wasn't from us. Maybe that's what he's talking about. Gonna order some Onward in the meantime. Internet gear and mindset. Right on, man. Cody Mays. Seen quite a few lot lizard stories when my job had me working at a distribution center for the main company. But the best one happened when I went to the gas station up the road before work and saw one of the drivers talking to one of them over by his truck. He was known to be an outspoken person in his beliefs, so I assumed he was trying to preach the good word, and we went about our business. Get to work, and he pulls in 45 minutes later, checks in, goes, parks his truck for the night. A couple hours go by, and then I see someone walking towards the gate and realize it's the chick from the truck stop, and she pulls her wig off, and lo and behold, she's a he, complete with a now pretty obvious bulge in the britches. I just nodded and let them go by, and when he left in the morning, he had a smile a mile wide. He was the only driver parked overnight, so I knew why.
Oh. Good times at the truck stop.
308 is a heavy deer cartridge in my opinion. I use a 243 for deer and antelope, and my 308 and 30-06 for an elk. Would you guys hunt Africa if you got the chance? Yes, I would. Weatherby I think I can actually go to hunt in Africa. I think I can hunt.
Yeah, you don't need to worry about.
Yeah,
Jacob's got a trip coming up.
But even though being a felon and can't having guns in the United States, I believe I can go to Africa and hunt.
Yeah, you don't have a felony in Africa.
Would we go to Africa? Africa, if you got the chance. Weatherby Manufacturing is in the moving process as we speak, or have just recently finished moving to Wyoming. Massey Ferguson and Yanmar, best tractors in my opinion. Okay. I went on Knight Armament's website, no prices. Horton will let you know if we will let you buy our rifle.
So a little side story. I'm telling somebody else's story about Knight's Armament is why. So James talks about Marty Daniel used to train.
Okay.
A lot of guys probably have heard this story, but this is telling it from James' perspective. Marty Daniel from Daniel Defense used to train.
Okay.
A lot at Tech Response.
Yeah, Tech Response.
Yeah. So he goes, somebody came through class and had some trick rail from Knight's Armament, so he calls up Knight's Armament and was like, hey, I'd like to buy... and they basically just hung up in his face. You know what I mean? Basically told him fuck off. So he was like, fuck me, fuck you, you know? Started making rifles.
Gotcha.
So...
Yeah.
That's just the way they are.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's just the way they are.
I see, I've never really fucked with any of their stuff. So I don't really...
That's kind of how we were, but... I decided I wanted some more money, so we started talking to folks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We want. No, you can't have it. That's Horton's thing, though. He's like, I want to buy a knife. How do I buy a knife? He goes, I'll call you and let you know you can buy my knife if I want you to buy my knife.
I didn't believe you till last year's Blade Show.
But Jeremy has everything Jeremy wants.
Yeah.
Like, and literally has a list of friends that are willing to buy his shit at any fucking given moment.
I got him with that beer comment.
And he'd be like, okay, I'm going to let you buy this knife, but you got to come over here and backflip this mountain bike. I'm like, oh, I can backflip a mountain bike. Until you see his mountain bike track, I'm like, I wouldn't jump that on my fucking dirt bike. Like, dudes have come out and legitimately fucking got fucked up. Like, dude from Canada comes down, and he comes ripping into this fucking hit, dude, and it's about this tall, but it's like, dude...
Straight up.
It's like a backflip fucking jump. He comes in, hits this motherfucker, flies 15 feet in the air.
Holy shit.
I fucked up. Broke leg, broke motherfucker. Yeah. John, any purple wallets in the future? My daughter carries a man's wallet. I'd buy her a purple wallet. Business card holder. I carry a SOE business card holder in my tool bag and another in my shirt pocket. It's very possible we'll do some purple wallets. I am the one that actually is sewing all the pre-sew wallets right now, and then I hand them to somebody else and they edge tape them, and I'm fucking way behind on wallets right now, so we might do some purple, but it won't be soon. Yes, with regards to tax caper, we've got a sugar tax here in the UK. What a cunting laugh. A chap I work with hit the nail on the head when he said, as electric cars become more widespread and the government starts to lose out on fuel tax, they will sure as eggs create another tax. just like the climate change was pushing the poor old polar bear and how they are suffering. Turns out the polar bears have never had it so good. Their population is as high as it's ever been. Well, fuck me. Now they're bleating about the penguins. All this is bollocks starts to fall apart once you begin to pay attention. As always, great podcast and YouTube videos. So the polar bear thing, I saw on CNN yesterday morning, day before yesterday morning, that the fucking polar bears are fucked up and climate change is killing, like, but you hear the UK and they get some different news than what fucking we're being fed.
You go to, so they're already doing it here in the United States, where they're starting to, certain municipalities, I think California even started doing it, they're starting to tax electric cars because they are losing the
Gas tax?
the gas tax, so they're starting to tax people that have electric cars. And California no longer, you no longer get a check. So if you put, you know, they're like solar panels. You put solar panels on your house now, you don't get a check from SDG&E. They just get to use all your solar panels.
And I believe by law you have to be tied to the grid.
And by law you have to be tied into the grid. You cannot opt to go, hey, I'm going to put up all, like, so Elon Musk's battery thing, you won't be able to do that in California. It's illegal for you to be off of the grid.
It's illegal for you to store your own energy.
Yeah.
Skully, you hinted at a cover mission to raid the Pepsi warehouse. Growing up, my neighbor drove a semi-truck for Pepsi, and every summer he would back it up to our garage and unload close to half of it. My mom hated it because we could put cars in the garage till winter. Couldn't put cars, I guess even. He always said, must have forgotten to lock the door. Good times.
I'm sure they got a better handle on their products, but it would be nice.
Laugh my ass off. This is Liberty Chick. I need a hobby, huh? Thanks a lot, John. I wear my Raycons. What are Raycons? I wear my Raycons around when I'm cooking. It was like Doc Martens or something. Around laundry, walking, etc. And of course, when I or we are driving in the car and there's a new one we haven't heard. Oh, maybe it's earbuds.
They are earbuds.
We will definitely listen. Are they cool?
Wireless.
I really like these Beats, man. Oh, I can't wear fucking without a tether thing. Yeah,
You'd be a loser.
Thanks for backing me up, Skully. Laugh out loud. Enjoy listening to the guys and Jaeger. All the Mookie vids shot like that. Just whenever I'm doing something, I'm able to. Can't wait for my purple day pack. You should have it by now. I bet you have it now.
I shipped that
Today?
yesterday.
I saw some purple ones go out today too.
I think I saw a note that said Liberty Chick.
Because it was waiting for the free item or something like that.
I'm pretty sure that's
Yeah, it actually was.
Thank you, John, for the email letting me know about them. To the bag for my son. Thank you. I say these things here so people see what a special kind of people SOE truly is. Love and gratitude forever, but you still can't have my kids. Oh, I'll have your kids.
Oh yeah, they're gonna come on their own.
We
accord.
will have the kids. They
the
always.
right price.
She'll come back.
She'll come back.
They all come back.
They always come back.
Road trip. The reality is, am I saying that or do you say that because I say that? God damn it! I wanted to say. I actually almost said. Truth be told, I'm like, I'm not gonna fucking say that.
Dude, say truth be told.
Truth be told, we built those purple backpacks because you wanted them, because you didn't get one of the last ones. So we ran them specifically for you and built 6 extra. Skully, what was the make and voltage of the battery pack blower you use? I know you have said it 1,000 times.
It's a DeWalt. It's a DeWalt 40-watt blower. It's fucking awesome.
So a lot of dudes were talking about the chainsaws, man.
Yeah.
There's a chainsaw. There's a dude. I don't know where I saw it. He sent me links to it and everything. There's a lot of fucking battery powered stuff out there.
Oh yeah, now everybody's trying to
Everything.
like really good. Like they almost
Lawnmowers.
it almost has me tricked into buying a battery lawnmower.
Yeah, DeWalt has the 40 volt push behind mower.
Yeah.
Now
They're 60 and 80 volts now.
the big electric stuff's coming in higher voltage, like the big guns, the half-inch and stuff.
Yeah.
I know before anybody jumps down, my half-inch ain't that big. Okay, whatever. But there's some of them are coming 24, 40, so they're using that same voltage for the mowers and shit.
I got a 1-inch set out there. You don't want to carry that motherfucker around.
He used it to take the axle nut off.
That's what we were. Yeah, that's.
And
what
he was
we
like,
were
because it was sheared, and
we broke it really good.
Took really good,
The
like
axle.
in half. Pieces that should be
Oh,
a piece
gotcha.
became pieces. So he took all the control arms off to swing it out, and then he was like, I was like, what? And he was like,
I mean, you got to undo all the fucking.
He just started going like this, and with the axle nut and the whole, because the hub's still in it, right? And the end of the joint's still in it, and the brakes still. And I was just like, what are you gonna do? I knew the fix already. What are you gonna do?
Tack weld it.
And he was like, I guess I can take the hubcap off and.
Well, that's
put
what
the wheel
that's what
back
it was.
on.
A 15-minute thing became a.
Hold on, you take the hubcap off, put the wheel on, put the socket into the hole, and bring the car down, break it loose, put it back up, take it. And I was like, yeah, you could do that. And he looked at me, and
That's
I was
how I do it.
I was like,
so what do you do?
I was like, or you could just put your foot on the brake.
Oh shit!
It was like,
holy fuck!
And he was like, yeah, but I can't hold the brake and break it loose. And I was like, good thing there ain't another motherfucker here to be like, hey, do you mind going hitting the brake? And he was like,
should have been like, stop being a fucking baby.
he's like, can you please hold the brake? I'm dirty. And I was like, okay. Put my foot on the brake, and then I heard it go, broop, and he starts, and I was like, are you done, sir? And he goes, yeah, it's off.
Holy shit!
So then we were going back. He put it. I mean, it popped right in and out. Right, puts it back in, and I go, man, how you gotta tighten that thing? And he goes, go stand on the fucking brake. And go, yes, sir.
So we've broken every axle, front,
This
back,
new one
right,
looks
left, all of
legit.
them. Yeah, so we've
New one
broken all
looks
these
legit.
axles, and we've got these fucking beefy axles that they're racing on, like, right? Well, we're breaking those. Like, we broke a few of those, and I have like whole sets, like the real shit. So I go to order some more, and now they've got an even bigger one.
This
So
one's
I get this thing, and dude, it makes those fucking other ones we were using look like stock axles. Like this thing, which is awesome, but you know what that means? It means we're about to break some other more expensive shit.
I was surprised, but maybe I think you're breaking them on when you're landing.
Yeah, because it's
you're right. The force is doing weird shit.
no,
and landing
what kills them the fast. You got to come off the throttle when you land.
right before you land.
If you come off or when you're in the
Right.
air, but it'll change your body English a little bit. But if you just can't be on the throttle when you land.
Right. So I was surprised when you said more than not just the right rear's braking, because it's not a solid diff, or it's not a locking diff.
Yeah.
So
It's just
in
torque,
cars,
man.
and if everybody out there, you got a rear wheel drive car, you go look in the rear. The right rear is always the first.
That's why
tire
when you
to-
try,
to
well,
wear.
no, people nowadays probably aren't. That's all we did as kids was try to burn out. You know.
Well, one wheel burnouts.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly, because it's a peg leg,
One wheel peel, yeah.
which is a posi or whatever. But we had a lot of cars, like, once you had the car for a few months, like, your car was doing 2-wheel burnouts.
Yeah, that's not good.
Well, you dump that transmission, you put a spool in anything, it'll fucking... Great podcast, waiting on an OD 1-point sling, but my Tiffany blue combat cock came in handy today. We cut a fucking ton of slings this week.
Yeah.
I saw before we walked in this room, there's at least 25 OD slings sitting there, and there's a fucking twice as big a pile of black sitting there. Slings will start shipping tomorrow, yeah.
50?
So I was talking to a new girl, and I had it in my truck, so I grabbed it and asked her if she wants to see my cock. She burst out laughing and thought it was the greatest thing ever. Keep up the great work. Need to get some more made in the motherfucking USA. Badassery. So I used to do that at least 10 times a day before we even made the combat cock.
You didn't even pull. You pulled it out.
No, I never pulled it out. I was pretty filthy.
You see how he's like, the filter started coming on.
I was
He
pretty
was like,
filthy.
nope, can't tell that. We're just going to the next comment.
It worked every time. Most of the time.
Most of the time.
Great podcast, waiting on an OD 1 point. John, you always say do shit, and you always want cool shit, and you would like to woodwork. Well, I have a solution for you. I don't have room for a fucking wood shop. Ask Pierre. Pierre cut some wood today. What was the stipulations on wood cutting?
Can't cut inside the shop. You can't cut outside of the shop. You can't cut beside the shop, and you can't turn the saw on. Other than that, don't get any wood chips anywhere. Make the wood the length you need it to be. I was like, oh.
You got this.
The worst part about all that was like I was freaking out about the sawdust, and I saw him see me freaking out over the sawdust, and he was like, "Just go fuck." Like I could like he had to let go of that moment because I was like, because he was like, make sure they're fucking perfect, this, that, and the other, blah blah blah, and then he started getting into like the exhaust of the wood chips have to go out a certain sawdust have to go out a certain way, and I was like, I'm gonna fuck this. I was like, I should just throw this piece of wood away and just say I'm not doing this thing at this point.
We have a big table saw, but we got a bunch of shit in front of it. It's a mess. Even with the vacuum hooked up to it, because I don't have a dust collector. The shop vac will kind of do some. So we have a what's it called, not a miter, but it's a cut off that with a radial arm saw. Yeah. So we set that out. I don't want to set it. Shit grows here. Like, we could plant $4,000 worth of clover fucking 800 yards up the fucking on the paddock, and it won't fucking grow there. But it'll fucking all fucking 2 months later be right down in the gravel, fucking growing everywhere. So I try to put as little material in the gravel as possible. So the guys they like to sweep the garage. Well, I tell them to sweep the garage out. And rather than picking all that shit up, what happens is the razors come in. And we've been running the razors, and they're fucking dripping mud, and blood's coming out of them, and fucking every fluid's coming out of them. And there's seeds everywhere. Where we go run, there is fucking seeds. Like, we will just blast through a field of fucking... I don't even know. Whatever. Corn. I like to use corn.
Corn, yeah.
Not corn.
We have blasted through some corn.
Well, we have not blasted through farmer corn. Old, retired, like deer plot shit. So there's seeds and mud and shit. So those come in. So they sweep it up, and then they fucking just push it right out the garage. Well, as soon as it rains, I have a chia pet fucking growing. Like, I have a fucking doormat of 15 different kinds of invasive species plants growing there.
So now I know the
yeah.
Right. So before I was like, what's growing? Like, what is he talking? Like, is the wood, the sawdust, like expanding? Like, I'm thinking of like a 2x4 growing out of the grass.
When you cut wood,
we'd be planting 2x4s all over.
So whenever we cut, like there's right outside the garage, there's some concrete before you get gravel. I need to put more concrete in. Is what we need to do. And for you guys that don't know concrete, I'm like, we're going to blacktop this place. We're going to concrete from here to here. They're like, okay, we can get you from the road up to the curve of the driveway for $60,000. I'm like, what the fuck?
I don't think concrete would be the way to do it.
Concrete's way more maintainable and less maintenance than...
Yeah, but it rains a lot here.
What does that mean?
The dirt underneath it is it's gonna crack.
Well, concrete always cracks.
No, because they don't pour it deep enough.
Right.
You hear the Autobahn cracking.
We have to put heavy concrete.
I'm serious. And you ever see how deep the Autobahn is?
There's a ton of
4 times as deep as a U.S. highway.
Nothing Hitler did fucking broke.
You know why? Do you know why it's that thick?
Why?
Because the whole purpose of the Autobahn was to have planes be able to take off and land from anywhere on that road. So that's why it's so thick.
So there's different types of concrete. There's different grades,
right.
different wire, rebar.
Right.
They have concrete. There's concrete water will pass through. There's concrete that light passes through. So there's all kinds of shit. So that's the deal with that. So I usually cut right there, and then I just vacuum all that sawdust out. But everybody wants to do the easy way, which, I mean, in your head, if you don't know, that's what happens.
Well, I mean, but it's a legit issue.
Dude, I'm not ever going to tell you or recommend you do something some way.
That doesn't have a reason. No, I understand that. No, I know that. I know that more now.
If there's an easier way to do it, we'd be fucking doing it, I think.
Right.
So that's the deal with the wood thing. So solution for you is, it's just one word: catapult. It would be a great series of video. The building testing, then fucking shit. We have who is this? Is it Fat Nuts?
Is it Fat Nuts?
No, it's Sergeant Colonel Major.
We have a buddy that makes trebuchets, like legit throw fucking throw dead plague bodies and shit over the wall with them.
If I get a vote, I'm vetoing the catapult.
Why?
You're too late.
Okay.
Yeah, why are you vetoing the catapult?
You really? Are you fucking with it? You don't know?
I think of all the people around here that would be down for a siege weapon, I figured it'd be you.
I am, but him owning the siege weapon. It's like, I'm cool for nukes. I'm all for nukes.
I know why.
But who do you want to have the button?
I know why you don't want it.
Because he will walk around saying, I will, what's your dollar amount? Go sit in the fucking thing.
I know. I
can set the pitch. You've jumped out of a plane. This is the same. He will get a
Tyler's gonna get bad hurt.
He will put
No, Tyler will be the only one
living
that won't get
being.
hurt.
We're shooting Tyler out of a cannon.
he will put a living being in that catapult.
No, I know why you don't want it. Because you
You gotta wear the
you may have
jester
heard
outfit.
because you may have heard some of John's stories. You don't want to be out there at the TAC response range when a hail of dildos come falling from the sky.
I retract my veto. if you're getting dildos, and that would be epic.
We actually
What would James do?
We actually have a device. Well, we don't have a device. There was a device here that could put things from here onto the old TAC response range.
No way.
Yeah. The problem was sometimes it wouldn't get to the TAC response range.
Hit the road.
It wobbles,
Yeah.
and you get a 1 pound fucking what does that big dildo weigh?
It had been at
No
least
way.
a pound.
A
No
pound? Like, it would
way.
probably hurt somebody. There's still dildos up there that we couldn't.
No.
Yeah.
We find Nick's dildos out back here still. I just wanted to say thanks. I got hurt at work last year and needed 2 knee surgeries. I gained a lot of weight before starting keto and I lost 55. That's fucking real shit right there, man. Good for you. Every time I don't want to work out, I hear John yelling to get off my ass. Love the gear. Did I ever say that? I never told you get off your ass. I didn't even wake you up.
Every pound you lose will help your fucking
A
knees.
lot. Man. I let you sleep in. Wake up was at 5:30. I was
My
up.
alarm went off at 5:30.
Yeah.
But 5:35. I was sitting up.
I was up at 4:30.
Okay.
I didn't even wake you up.
I mean, okay. Thank you.
You could have done an hour of cardio before we went to the gym.
Mercy.
Hey guys, there are settings. Every time I don't. Oh, you did that. There are settings on your phone for targeting advertisements. It will track shit you like, watch, and I actually don't mind it.
Everybody knows.
They have fucking tricked me into buying all kinds of shit I didn't even know I want till they showed it to me. It can be turned off, but I don't know if it really turns off. No, of course it doesn't turn off, and you have to turn it back on to do any Facebook Live shit with it. I just found out about it, and it turned mine off today. Keep up the podcast. Have a good one. Brian Lucas, thanks, man.
If you ever see a real ninja walking, around, he's gonna be walking around with a fucking flip phone. He'll just have a fucking.
For real.
He'll have this bullshit flip phone, and the reason why is because they can't go into any of the secured areas if they can't take their battery off. They can't shut the phone down. So you can if you cannot completely shut the phone down, which none of these phones,
Shut down.
when you power them off, they're still on.
Okay, let me add to that. Even if you can pull the battery, there's still enough electricity in the capacitors of the phone. If you are actively being sought and they are looking for you, they can still ping your phone.
They can actually. Well, what they do is they can actually run from the towers to your phone.
Yep.
You don't even need to have any power.
That's why they gave you all wireless charging.
But they can ting your phone even though your phone is not on and the battery's not in it. Basically, all they're doing is they're just hitting your phone with a signal.
You need to shield it. You need to put it in an RFID bag, lead bag, like an old film bag, or underwater. Same if you're robbing banks. You need to put your shit in. You need to put all your die packs, all your money packs need to go in water.
55-gallon drums.
So back the van up, smash the door, 55-gallon drums.
Oh.
Can I say that?
I mean,
yeah,
that's what they do in the movies.
It's been done in the movies.
I want to ask something completely out of left field.
Yeah, go ahead. It's 7 inches limp.
Wow. How much hard?
A lot more.
Okay. Some
It's
aren't growers. Some
a lot
are
more
just
girth.
showers. Yeah. Oh, it gets wide. Anyways, I saw a meme. I've been wanting to ask you and talk to you about this.
Oh God,
Is that a sniper?
The reason for
God invented Marines.
Oh, I mean, you're telling the story at this point. The reason for civilian-owned rocket launcher. Have you seen this one?
Yeah, to shoot those fucking
Tanks running over the dudes in Venezuela.
Yeah.
What? I wanted to ask you about Venezuela and what you thought. I'm sure you guys
We
covered
did.
it.
We
Right?
caused that.
Yeah.
That's our fault.
whatever.
Okay. Good answer.
We didn't cause it, or the tanks?
I read somewhere like 6 years ago or 8 years ago.
What's this?
This all happened super fast.
What's
I know
this?
we're running late, but
What's this Scar Tan drum grenade launcher that's being sold
Oh, the
right
Mark
now?
36.
Is it?
Yeah, it
less,
pumps,
is it,
right?
No,
pump
you don't have to pump it. It's automatic.
Oh, it spins now. The old one used to have
like you remember the street sweeper?
Yeah.
It's just like the
So it's
street
double
sweeper, except
action.
it shoots a fucking 40 millimeter grenade.
That was my question. 40.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's 40. We just went, so the last deployment I did, we just got those. Like, they just
Are you gonna
issued
get
those
one?
out. No, fuck no.
You can
It's
buy
a
an
piece of-
under barrel for $200. Pay the $200 stamp. You can buy an under barrel.
Yeah, and then you got to pay
40 millimeter.
$200 every time you want to shoot that motherfucker.
Hold on.
Oh,
hold
no,
on,
no,
hold on.
not
We
true.
have a friend.
Not true.
We have a friend.
Yeah,
We want to bet?
it's a destructive device.
You want to bet? Shake.
Well, I'm not shaking.
Shake.
'Cause
Okay,
I'm not
that's
shaking
yeah,
because
right.
I'm not
We
talking
gotta-
about putting a fucking
No,
40
no, no, no,
millimeter
no,
that
no,
shoots
no, no.
40 millimeter
22
grenade, HE
22
round.
fucking.
Shake on it.
You have to
If
pay
you make
$200
it,
every
if
You
you
have
make
to
it
pay.
that day
if
and
you make-
destroy it that day, you don't have to pay the tax stamp. If you have the proper
I don't-
licensing.
I don't-
Oh, wait a minute, wait a minute.
yeah,
Let's-
yeah,
let's-
It's not the,
reverse.
not as a
thrust-
civilian.
Reverse.
Okay, so you can buy the undermount.
Yeah.
You can as a civilian buy a 40 millimeter grenade.
Can or cannot?
Cannot.
Correct.
You cannot buy a 40 millimeter
Yes,
grenade.
you can.
Yes,
No, you cannot.
You
can.
can as
If
a-
you have destructive
if
and
you can-
explosive, if you have that
the
correct,
destructive device,
the
yes.
correct FFL, you can buy it.
Yeah, if you have a
Yeah,
destructive device.
Right. So,
So you
we
can-
have friends. We have, if you have the license, we have friends that go buy cases of grenades.
Yeah.
They have to pay the tax on them. But if you create the grenade and destroy it that same day, you don't need to make the.
Okay, well,
This is
let's-
not something
yeah,
you should be delving into.
Yeah.
If you want to fire 40 mic rounds,
Dylan-
we have a buddy that can bring them here, and
Yeah,
you just
no,
you guys can shoot them.
I get that, but Dylan Precision doesn't make a fucking 40 millimeter. Let's make grenades today and fire them. So
Well, in
that's
that
not
case, I
happening.
guess they don't exist
So
then.
it-
They don't exist. If
Well, they
Dylan
do.
doesn't make them.
They do exist, but
Sorry you can't go
But
on
what-
Brownells and buy your die set.
listen. They do
What's the
exist.
headspace on a 40
But you
millimeter?
and I are not in the garage tapping out fucking 40 millimeter grenades to shoot at the
So this
fucking
friend that
sewers'
will come
cars.
here, this friend that was come here was at SHOT Show with another friend that comes here, and said friend's boss said, "Hey, go make a run, buy 3 cases of grenades."
Well, yeah, you
The
can.
friend said,
You can do
What is
that.
that, like
What-
code
what's-
for
yeah, what's
code
code?
for beers? We're
"What's
figuring
code
out-
for we're buying like
What are we
beers
really
or something?"
getting?
He's like, "No, we're buying 3 cases of grenades." And the second friend was like, "Huh, okay." They get to the car, arrive at a location where they exchange cash for wooden crates of grenades, and proceeded
Yes.
to not stop at any red
Now,
lights.
now
and
hold on, anybody listening, before you get the wrong idea.
It's all legal.
These guys
Yeah,
are
yeah,
these
yeah,
guys
yeah.
are manufacturers.
Yeah,
They're-
manufacturers. They're all legal.
Manufacturers
Yeah,
of
yeah.
weapons. They
Yeah.
do a lot of movie shit.
Yeah. No, it's
Yeah,
it's
you-
all by the books.
And when I
100%
said
legit.
when I said they could come here and he could bring, like, he can travel with them.
Yeah.
He uses them for demos for agencies and
Yeah.
stuff. Jeff cannot have grenades.
No,
There's
yeah.
no grenades here. Fucking so.
No, if you do the, all I'm saying is if you do the paperwork, you can have anything. It's
the
like
licensing.
saying, it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
but it's like saying you can't own a machine gun. Well, you can,
Right.
as long as you do the right paperwork.
So like you could probably get one of those FFLs that you pay the $300 a year tax on it or whatever, and just for making it easier buying and selling.
Yeah, but I mean, I
at
have
this
no,
point, right? You're not.
I
Gonna,
have no interest in it.
right.
So like,
But to get the bigger ones, you have to show income. You have to show like this is actually, you know what I mean? Like they're not handing them out for, and the tax is like $10,000 a year or something like that. It's something heavy.
All right, we're at 90 minutes.
all right, we're at 90 minutes.
That's it, huh?
Yeah.
Enjoy the last podcast. I think I figured out what we should do.
It's
for
not the
100.
last podcast.
It's the last one. The next one's the last one. I think I know how you should finish it out.
What?
You should be like, you should start it and then get halfway through, and then you should draw your God's gun, not use this camera, and then just punch a hole in the camera, and that's how it ends.
No, I don't think we're gonna be doing that.
Shoot
Yeah,
a GoPro and call it a day.
You could do that. That'd be cool.
Yeah, just shoot a GoPro. You want to see who's a better shot?
It'd probably be a felony of some sort.
What we're gonna have a GoPro shoot off?
Yeah, one
Look and shoot
GoPro. We start at 150 yards and work our way in.
Has that been done?
Shoot a GoPro?
Yeah.
No.
I don't think. What is the lowest frame rate it has on it?
Yeah, it won't catch.
No, it's not going to catch it.
It's just gonna,
No. You need like
we
fucking...
would put we'd have it head on, and then we'd have another
Yeah,
one.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
What's the
yeah.
lowest
And then we'd have
frame
the
rate
drone
that
out.
you can get out
Yeah,
on a
Not
GoPro?
not enough to catch the.
It's slow-mo, but not enough to catch the bullet coming in. You're wanting to catch the bullet coming in.
Yeah.
You're
So
write a
everybody-
smiley face
So
and
everybody
say,
could see the 45 destroying
Yeah,
the
well,
9mm.
we'll know the size of the hole. Because one will be like a pinhole.
Cool. What would be
another will
super
explode.
cool? Be super cool if you shot Pierre's 9mm bullet out of the air before it hit the GoPro.
It's too slow, old man.
No, it just means
You just have to shoot sideways.
You'd have to. Oh.
Can you catch it? Sonny
Off
can
a
catch
tank.
it.
Off
Sonny
a
can
tank.
catch it.
only if you shoot it
Off
on
a
a
tank. It's got to reflect off the tank.
Only if
first.
you, and that's a Markov 9mm, and they don't have a lot of ass in them.
No,
so
is it 38 short or something?
I don't
How did
know.
you
It's
say
38
What
short.
kind of
Markov 9mm.
The Makarov?
Yeah, the Markov.
Is that 9 by? Oh, you heard about that 9 by 39, or 9 by something?
Oh, the
It's a Russian 300 blackout.
yeah, the underwater gun.
It's supposed to be.
Do you remember when they
The suppressed gun.
You
It's all
remember,
suppressed.
remember at Soldier Force when everybody heard you could fire a Glock in the pool?
Yeah,
At the
all the
sands?
bullets in the pool.
No.
Yeah, everybody would shoot their guns
Like
in the pool.
3,000 of them, dude. Yeah.
So there's all these bullets. in
So
the
okay, why
pool.
can't you shoot a
They
different gun
finally
underwater?
they finally drained the pool.
Well,
You can.
You
It's-
can.
there was firing pin cups that were made for underwater.
Oh, so it wouldn't get wet.
No, it was about pressure. It was the slide moving. It,
Oh,
it will
okay.
fire. It wouldn't recycle.
Remember the old hush rounds or something? Remember the gun that had like the slide stop?
Oh
on
yeah,
it?
yeah.
Did you saw that they remade it?
No, I didn't.
Well, they
Super
had,
remade it.
Oh, that's
You can buy.
There were a lot of guns like that.
Mhm.
They made the Ruger 22 pistols.
Yeah,
they made Ruger
yeah.
1022s like that.
Yeah, and then it was like a seal thing.
this is just a tube, right, with a little handle on the end of it.
What are you talking about?
The
new
gun you're
one?
talking
No,
about, yeah.
Glock 19, Glock
Oh, Glock
17,
19, okay.
and M&Ps. It's a kit you put for your frame. It puts a lock on it.
Dude, they've had that shit before Glocks.
But I'm saying now it's and they a special can.
Rex Road had a 1022 with an integral like
Yeah.
nice, like real nice. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know who
Those
made it.
Rugers or whatever.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
it,
those
had,
are nice.
it had a slide lock on it.
Yeah, so you could
Yeah.
cycle and it keeps the
Dude, all you heard
quiet.
was tick. Like
Yeah.
you heard the trigger fucking.
And Supervel came back out with some really slow moving rounds or something that's really quiet, and the cans.
All right, guys. So check out Pharma Extracts out of Las Vegas, and it's actually Pharma Extracts, and the X is just an X. So check them out.
Yeah.
These dudes they're not fucking paying us or anything. We just got a bag today a box. We bought a shitload of stuff from them. And I'm about to get some more stuff from them. So check them
We're
out.
not responsible for your number 7s.
And they were super smart about sending this coffee cup
got me
because
next
we've
to
always got coffee cups in it.
Coffee, like a bulletproof coffee one day. And she's like, "Here, try
All right,
this."
guys, cut it. Before you're talking about your wife shitting.